a TVP on what map? Towcross! Towcross is the second map. Sweet. So let me host it up. All right. And let's go. Alright, so at the top right, as the purple Protoss, we have FR Truffle. And at the bottom, as the brown Terran, we have a Moxie PaiN. I thought Moxie was on Fox. Am I getting confused? I'm probably just getting confused here. Oh well, doesn't really matter. T6, T5? I'm gonna say that's 5 o'clock. And I'm gonna say that's P1. Alright, sweet. Oh, I forgot to update the score. PaiN, in fact, has 1 point. Fantastic. Also, yes, I do highly encourage everyone to go participate in the live report thread. If someone can link that in the chat again, that'd be awesome. Live report threads are pretty awesome. And you should go post something. Or else you will be banned forever. Anyway, TVP on Towcross. In the opening, Terran has to be a little bit careful, of course, because there's no ramp. So, you know, you gotta be a little bit aware of 10-15 gauge shenanigans, that sort of thing. But once it goes to the mid and late game, I kind of like this map for Terran. Well, actually, okay, to be fair, so first of all, you gotta be careful because you got no ramp, right? And then, if you want to go out and take this third, it's super wide open. So it's hard for Terran to do, you know, their little turtley fast 3-base style that they do nowadays. And also, even if they do try and, you know, go 4 factory first and then, you know, kind of take it safely, it's still vulnerable. Like, you know, Protoss can still be a bitch and just attack you and break you anyway. So you gotta be really careful when you're doing that. But if you can actually establish those 3 bases, I think the overall architecture of the map, where there's actually no like big open middle. There's just like you gotta engage on these ramps and stuff, and it's generally kind of like long corridors. I think that kind of favors the late game TVP engagements. So early game and middle game might be a little bit tricky for Terran, but once you get to late game, I think it's not a bad map for TVP at all. And also you can cliff drop the natural, so that's always nice for Terran. Anyway. Doop-a-doop-doo. So yeah, I'd like to see Truffle try and get some kind of advantage here in the early game. Try something sneaky. If we look at the spawn locations as well, so like the back of Moxie's main is kind of facing Truffle, so Truffle will kind of move out and take his natural here, and then he can easily do drops into the back of the main. So if he goes for some kind of Reaver harassment, I think that could be quite fun, quite good. Meanwhile, 1 guy on gas means we're almost certainly seeing an FD here. We've got a little bit of an anti-zealot SimCity here. Right by the factory. I like this positioning. So a lot of players will do this SimCity, but they'll do it like really far away from the mineral line and far away from the factory, which kind of defeats the purpose, because then the zealot, you know, just goes and harass your SCB building the factory or something, and then it's hard for you to defend because you have to run out away from the SimCity. But in this case, you know, the Marine that's hiding here can cover the factory. He can kind of cover the mineral line as well, cover the gas, cover kind of everything. So so I quite like that. Unfortunately for Moxie, he did scout in the incorrect direction, while the probe is just kind of chilling outside, away from the Marines. First Dragoon is on the way, and what do we have here? Nothing too interesting from Truffle just yet. Still just single gateway. In that range, it's alright. And it looks like gas mining has actually resumed here before a command center has been planted, so I'm not 100% sure about this, why this is happening. Usually you wait until the command center is about to be built, and then you can then you throw the guys back on gas. But I guess it's not a huge deal, because he did pull for a little while, so he's not going to have too much excess gas here. It looks like Dragoon going to get pushed back by these Marines. It doesn't have range yet, yeah, so it can't really do anything. A non-range Goon has the same range as non-range Marines, so they both have 4 range to begin with. And once Marines get their range upgrade, they get +1 range, but Goons get +2 range from the range upgrade, so obviously the Goon range upgrade is much better. Not that it really makes a difference, because you never get range upgrade in TVP anyway. Well, not never, but you rarely do. So there's that one weird situation where you get it if you're doing like a 1 Rax expand, and you get you get marine range so that your marines in the bunker can shoot dragoons. The reason that works is because putting marines in a bunker gives them +1 range. So base 4 range on the marines, +1 from the range upgrade, and then +1 from the bunker range bonus means they have 6 range, which is the same as goons with their +2 range upgrade. Ha, fun fact. Anyway, the FD little attack's moving out here. He's actually got 7 marines, so this is a pretty hefty attack here. And Truffle hasn't actually harassed it too much while it's been walking across the map, so it's actually still fairly strong. Looks like he tried to move in here and maybe snipe the tank. Didn't quite get the good position there, though. The mines are starting to go off. Most of the marines are dying, but the goons are taking quite a significant beating here. So the mines have all been laid actually fairly far away from the Protoss Natural, so Truffle's going to be quite happy about that, and I think he should be okay now with these 3 marines. Gotta be careful not to chase too far, though. I assume he saw those mines being laid. So even if he gets this last marine, this tank is definitely going to be safe. There's no way for these goons to actually move out and chase that tank. They just want to hold position as far out as possible to prevent the mines from being laid. Oh no, I think that's a rally point error. Yeah, it looks like he's going to fix that. I think he might even try some fancy micro to defuse the mines, but it's going to be very, very careful. Oh god, that's not going to work. Ah! If you're going to try and defuse mines without obs, oh god. Well, that's not the way to do it, but you generally will actually want to keep your goons clumped. It seems kind of counterintuitive, because you're like, well, shouldn't I spread out my goons so they take less splash damage? Well, actually, if you're gonna, be defusing mines without obs, you actually want them really close together, so you only trigger 1 mine at a time. Because if you trigger 2 mines, it's almost impossible to actually defuse them both reliably. It's basically down to luck and how many goons you have. So you really want to clump them together so you only trigger 1 at a time. Although conversely, then if you do accidentally trigger 2 in that situation, you're completely screwed. Anyway. So it looks like the third Nexus is actually gonna be built here. Oh, that was a good defusal. And no more mines over here. There's a couple of random ones on the left, but Protoss is gonna be just fine now, getting his 3rd base. So looks like that went okay actually for both players. I mean, Protoss lost a couple more goons than he probably would have liked, but it's not too big a deal. Meanwhile, we got actually a lot of vultures being made here. Siege mode only just now coming up, so it looks like Moxie might be trying some kind of fancy vulture shenanigans, go for some nice vulture harassment here. Seems to be quite a slow siege mode, but it's not a big deal because the Protoss can't really move out anyway. He did actually go for a 3rd base, 2nd expansion before getting a robo, so slightly greedy there, and also more importantly means that he can't really safely move out against these mines. And this could actually be very bad. He might even lose his 3rd base here, because it's so dangerous for him to move out without any obs looking for these mines that I don't actually know if he can really safely go down here and defend. I mean, he did kind of clear the path between the bases, so he could probably move down, but this is actually a really scary looking attack here. Really interesting timing here for Moxie, only backed by these 2 factories, with siege mode just now finishing, and there are the mines with no obs there. I don't really see how this is going to be cleared. He could just try and sack a goon and suicide it through, but is it going to be worth it? I don't know. He's taking so much damage. Truffle losing all of the dragoons and still going to lose his space, I think. Kills 1 siege tank, going to try and target down the 2nd one. Not going to be able to get it, losing his entire goon army, and only killing a single one of those siege tanks. He did clear the minefield, but he's got no units left, and GG from Truffle. And wow, Moxie with a sick timing there. I don't even know what that was. Just really punishing the greedy Protoss for double expanding with no obs. And that's that. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what happens if you double expand with no obs. It's your punishment. It's what you get. To be fair though, he should have had a lot more goons. The mine defusal was pretty not ideal, shall we say. Meh. Alright, so next game is gonna be a TVZ between Elena PaiN and FR Yoda, the master himself, the commander-in-chief.